Baby, all 4 of these people black, and all 4 of these black people know when some shit about to pop off. They know it. But TV put aside enough. If Julie had never said anything, it would have been a wrap. When they got to each other's face and Xavier stepped up the first time, I said, Xavier, please don't. I said, in my mind, this is me praying and hoping for these black brothers to not act a shitty fool on television. I'm like, Negroes, this is bigger than y'all. This is bigger than y'all both. Please, please do not do this. Please, I was yelling at my screen. I was yelling at my screen. I'm so amped about this episode. Xavier warned him once, KYLAND said it. Xavier warned him twice, KYLAND said it again. Xavier warned him 3 times, and KYLAND said it again, smiled, and did not move. KYLAND was not threatened in the least by Xavier. Cause he knew he was gonna get Xavier there. Let me tell you how manipulative and controlling KYLAND is. KYLAND wanted Xavier to leap so that Xavier could lose the money. That's where KYLAND was. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. Cause I said a lot. If Julie didn't lose her shit, if Julie didn't lose her nerves and say, KYLAND, I need shit. Julie said, KYLAND, I need you out the house. KYLAND, I need you out the house. KYLAND, I need you out the house. KYLAND, that's when KYLAND snapped. KYLAND snapped back into, oh shit, I'm on TV mode. I understand all 4 sides. I do at this point. But baby, when Xavier stepped up to him 3 times and Xavier didn't move back 3 times, it was gonna be a battle, baby. Cause KYLAND said, bitch, you could step up all you want. He said, you gonna bring my nephew into this? And he said it again. I said, well, I'm just wondering what your nephew has to look up. KYLAND ain't back down for nothing. And dry mouth Xavier ain't back down either, which was great because it was 2 grown men having to figure out what is about to happen. And I know a lot of y'all may disagree, okay? Because a lot of y'all were coming at KYLAND about bringing family and putting family into the mix. None of that matters. None of that matters. And for me, I feel like you need to hear what I'm saying to you. Because I'm not saying that the nephew is slow, that the nephew is missing appendages, that the nephew is ditz. I'm not saying anything specific about the nephew. So everybody like, oh, he's disrespectful and he's disgraceful and all of that. He ain't saying nothing about the child. He's speaking on what the child has to look up to because Xavier brought the child into the conversation in the beginning, into believing him by bringing this child into the equation of the game. If Xavier never mentioned the nephew, then KYLAND wouldn't have had nothing to say about no family, no nephew. But you brought personal vibes into this house. So I'm gonna ask you about the personal vibes your ass brought into this house. I think Xavier was in uh-oh mode, like I'm about to have to lay this man out, right? I think Ozza's oblivious to all this. I think Ozza's like, all right, well, bye KYLAND, you're leaving. Oh, you're still here to talk? Okay, well, you're still leaving though, bye. So I'm thinking Ozza's in that space, right? I'm not wanting to really get my hands dirty. I wanted this to be flawless. I wanted this to be flawlessly executed, and I thought that KYLAND would respect the blind side and just leave. But now potential confrontation is coming my way. So then Xavier got dry mouth. I don't know why he ain't put no Carmex on his lips or nothing. His whole mouth is dry. He ain't had no water. He was shooketh. Okay? So I don't think Big D's scared. I think what's going through Big D's mind right now is this is live TV and what is really about to happen right now.
Just a reminder, when Big D casts his vote, the evicted house guest will have just a few moments to say goodbye, gather his or her belongings, and walk out the front door. So Big D, please face the two and go ahead and cast your vote to evict.
Let me first say that on a personal level, I love you, Azza. I love you, KYLAND. On a game level, I have made it clear since the beginning. I owe nobody anything. I play this game solely for myself. So, at this point, I cast my vote to evict KYLAND.
It's official, KYLAND.
That look he
KYLAND
gave.
has been evicted from the Big Brother house.
No heads up. Not gonna give me a reason. Anything?
Any reason? The game. What about the game? What about the game? You'll find out.
Not you'll find out.
Oh man, I mean, I just don't understand. Notice.
KYLAND, you know, as a game point of view, I can't beat you, so I'd rather go against Azza than you.
No, I understand.
Yes, from my point of view.
I'm wondering, no heads up or anything. Unless I kept you in the last week.
Last week.
And is it just
how the game goes?
No, of course. No, I'm just asking. No, I thought it was a whole challenge.
I would have loved to give you a heads up, but I respect you too much as a player, and given that he was the sole vote to evict, I knew if you had time, you probably could have made things go another way.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the whole, Kobe thing.
Right here, though, right here. Xavier was expecting KYLAND to just walk out, to not say anything, to not whatever, which I don't know why. Maybe because that's typically what everybody else does. But I don't think so, because KYLAND and Xavier have had way too many conversations which appeared to be sincere, especially when KYLAND brings this up.
Raising him to be a man and face challengers and stuff.
Are you talking about my nephew right now?
I'm asking about if, named after Kobe.
Xavier steps up.
Down from a challenge, he accepts it.
I highly suggest you stop talking about my nephew.
I think that's not really up to me. I think that if your nephew has nobody to look up to, that
Keep talking about my nephew.
if your nephew has
Now everybody like,
is gonna figure out
Honestly,
how to raise him.
KYLAND,
Julie's waiting on you. Julie's waiting on you.
I need you to leave right now, KYLAND.
No, I just think that's unfortunate. He doesn't have a man.
KYLAND,
Yes,
I need you to leave right now. Thank you.
Oh wait, is this one mine?
That's yours. That's yours.
Thank you, KYLAND. Thank you, house guests.
Thank you.
I think that if your nephew has nobody to look up to, that
Keep talking about my nephew.
if your nephew has nobody to look up to, that is gonna figure out how to raise him.
KYLAND,
Julie's waiting on you. Julie's waiting on you.
I need you to leave right now, KYLAND.
No, I just think that's unfortunate. He doesn't have a man.
KYLAND,
Yes,
I need you to leave right now. Thank you.
Oh wait, is this one mine?
That's yours. That's yours.
oh,
KYLAND, thank you.
oh,
Thank you.
baby, listen. First of all, y'all already know who I am. If y'all watching this video, y'all know who I am. I'm not about to go through all the introductions and all of that. Y'all know why I cannot play the actual video clip on this video, because YouTube hates me and will take my video down. That's what they do. Everybody else gets to play music and to play videos, and they don't bother everybody else. They bother me. But baby, I think I might put the link to this video down. That was when the show started, okay? Well, actually, the game was played 3 times. 4 times in this house. The game was played 4 times in this house during this season, but this 4th play was the ultimate play, okay? When was it played 4 times? Oh, played 5 times. It was played 5 times. It was played when they blindsided Brent. It was played when they blindsided Christian. It was played when they blindsided Derek X. It was played when when KYLAND got rid of Tiffany. And it was definitely played when Xavier got rid of KYLAND. The game was played 5 times in this house. And the reason why I say the game is because, you know, the game is known for the manipulation, the not conniving, the lying, the blind sides, the backstab. That's why everybody loves Big Brother. That's not why I love Big Brother, okay? I love the honest players in Big Brother. And I know that's kind of difficult to be in Big Brother, but KYLAND pointed something out in the ending of, in his interview with Julie. He says something that resonated with me, and it's how I feel. You don't have to lie just for sake of lying. You know what I'm saying? And the point where he was trying to, the point that he was trying to make with regards to not responding to Big D was that he felt at that point in the game that he was safe because of the conversations that he had with Xavier, and he felt like there was no point into misleading Big D any further because KYLAND honestly felt that he was safe. So what was the point of lying to Big D in that moment? I feel the same way, right? I understand that concept and I feel the same way. Although there were plenty of times where Sarah Beth said the same thing, where she felt like what he was telling her was unnecessary. Because in the end, so says her, if he would have told her about it when she was getting ready to head out, she would have been fine. So she feels like KYLAND told her way too much of fluff for no reason. I don't know. I feel like you can get through 85% of Big Brother by not lying flat out to people's faces, okay? And I'm a firm believer in that, and that's just how I feel about it. Whether you agree to disagree, it is what it is. We can adopt similar connections despite our differences. But I'm gonna tell you, this 5th play in the game was spicy, baby. And it leads up, we lead up to this particular pivotal moment through so much happening in this house, okay? Historical moment, 6 black people are left in the house. Tiffany exits, Hannah exits, there's 4 left. 1 woman, 3 men. The Big D has made a final 2 with Xavier and KYLAND and made a final 3 with them. All 3 men said they will not say each other's names. KYLAND proved that by saving Xavier last week. His mistake. His mistake. I understand why he made the mistake, but his mistake. He made that bed, he has to lie in it. Okay? But he saved Xavier based off of the conversations, the type of conversations that they were having. It wasn't this regular, hey, let's make it to the final 2, Batman versus Superman. No. When they divulged the personal reasons as to why they want the money and why they need the money in their lives, their personal situations, that to me was endearing. That to me was beyond game. Okay? There's been quite a few times when people got beyond game. Like when Davon asked Nicole to her face and said, hey, listen, game aside, I need you to tell me the truth. Do not have me on television going after this black man on a lie. Tell me the truth, okay? And Nicole lied. I don't know if Davon forgave Nicole. I doubt it. You know, I doubt it. But I felt like KYLAND and Xavier had that similar conversation. To me, that's what I felt. And I feel like KYLAND felt the same thing too. But KYLAND doesn't know these people. It's like you can live in this house for 79 days, like Julie said, and still think you know people, kind of, but don't really. I mean, no one really knows but the Big D. Big D had said it, and I don't know if Big D knows or not, but I think everyone still thinks, or they don't think that he's a bartender, they just don't know that he's a lawyer. Still. But Xavier made it known that he was coming to this house to win the money. And Xavier is there. Xavier is there. I did not think that through all the showman's flirtation between KYLAND and Big D, all the sexual innuendos between the last 4 castmates in this house? Oh yes. Xavier saying that he wanted to bone and he needed to bone. He needed to get one off and he can't wait to get one off. And the fact that him and Azza, because there's no one left in the house, have been like throwing jabs at each other. Azza wants that so bad she can taste it. Okay? And then clearly something physical has been happening with KYLAND and Big D. Don't know what the hell that could have been, but I just feel like if it wasn't a kiss, because clearly KYLAND kissed Big D on the mouth on television, okay? So if KYLAND is willing to kiss Big D on the mouth, I'm sure something else happened in that house. I'm pretty sure something else happened in that mouth, and in that house, okay? And then there was a moment on the live feeds where Xavier said, oh, we already know why that back is hurting. I don't think a straight man, or whatever Xavier is, I believe that he's straight. I don't think that a straight man in Xavier would make that kind of a joke. One, if he isn't as open-minded as we would love for all straight people to be. And two, if something of that sort was not already happening. I don't think that would just come out of thin air. So I honestly believe that KYLAND and Big D have been physical with each other in a lustful way. To what extent, I'm not sure, but clearly they have. And so leading up to this particular situation, I say all that to say, I understand everybody's position in this house. I understand Xavier's position because he just wants the money. I understand Azza's position because she doesn't like KYLAND whatsoever and is down to pull the trigger. I understand KYLAND's position because him and Xavier had to, what I feel, and probably what KYLAND felt, was an endearing, personal, out-of-game conversation regarding the two men and what they stand for. And the fact to call the alliance the gentleman says it all. And Big D's position, he was the one that I was really unsure of because of the physical encounters and the fact that he called his situation with KYLAND a showmance, and then Azza being there from the very beginning as a joker and an apparent big brother best friend. I really didn't put that much faith in Big D at all. I have no faith in him at all. But you know, I was watching the video with a couple of friends and Vic, and they were saying that because KYLAND spoke to Big D the way that he spoke to Big D, that Big D wasn't going to allow him to go any further. And again, I had no faith in Big D to make a power move like that, or in my opinion, a move that made sense, because I felt like he had never been in this position before, because he's never won anything, still has never won anything. So he's never been in the position of power before, which is what I felt was Azza's downside. And so I felt like he was gonna allow his emotions to carry him through. But he didn't. He made, I feel, a good moral move, a good personally moral move, keeping Azza, because I would have based off of merit alone. And he made a good game move, getting rid of KYLAND. So at that point, I was like, okay, Big D, completely shocked. Wow, that he did that, right? But then I had my reservations, because before Big D got up, he was giving that nervous smile. And I was like, either it was a nervous smile or it was a bitch I got you smile. I don't know, because we know Big D can be bitchy. So I don't know which one it was. But I was leaning more towards on the oh shit, I don't know what I'm gonna do smile. But he gets up, everybody's nervous at this point. Xavier is not that big of a man, because he was nervous. He had nervous energy as well. And so did Big D. Big D stands up, he positions himself, and he says, well, as I said, I told everyone, I owe no one nothing. You've never said that. Not on TV and not on any lives have I heard you say that. You feel like everybody owes you. You feel like everybody owes you, and I feel like if he felt like he didn't owe anybody anything, he wouldn't feel compelled to have had the conversations that he had with Azza, and he wouldn't have felt compelled to figure out if KYLAND was still wanting to take him to the end. So that was the bull crap response to me. It was just, I felt like he had to say something to lead into his ultimate decision. But he decides to kick KYLAND out. And then KYLAND immediately shows a face of what? To Big D. Shows a face of like, are you serious? To Big D. Baby. And then he gets up. He's pissed. You could tell. Ooh, you could tell. He was ready to sniff some more tortillas or some more floss. Oh, he is vexed. No heads up, no anything. When have y'all ever given majority of, did you give Sarah Beth a heads up? No. So, Xavier is not in the mood to entertain this conversation because he feels that I made the move, it's done, leave. Oh no, that's not how it works in real life. That's why I enjoyed this moment, because a lot of the times in Big Brother, they're always, oh, thank you, oh, I love you, oh, it's a game. No, I liked Cody's response when he walked up on the table and left. I like Claire's response when she said, I ain't hugging nobody, I'll see y'all at the finale. And I like KYLAND's response because it was it was warranted. But Xavier is like, oh, this is what we do. No, Xavier, no, none of this is okay. And I know a lot of y'all don't like KYLAND because of what he did, but I felt like KYLAND was real for what he did. Okay, so we get to this point and he's asking Xavier, what's up? What's going on? Like, no heads up, I would have at least appreciated that, bro. The gentleman, that would have been gentlemanly to do, okay? But Xavier is pushing him off like KYLAND does everybody else. You'll find out. When he said you'll find out, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Who are you talking to? I know that's what KYLAND was saying, because KYLAND can talk like that to everybody else, but people can't talk like that to him. When Tiffany tried to talk like that to KYLAND, KYLAND got her together. So KYLAND is not up for this, oh, you'll find out. So he don't go nowhere. Oh no, he's not going nowhere because he's gonna find out. He's gonna find out now. So you're not gonna tell him he gonna find out now. That's what he gonna do. So ain't nobody getting him out the house. And they ain't got no security, no nothing. You know, when the oven was on fire, didn't no firemen come in, they had to worry about that. So KYLAND like, ain't nobody gonna come and tell me to get out. No, you're gonna tell me now. So so Big D like, oh shit. But you know, Big D, you know, his father Joe Frazier, you know, Big D could box. So I don't think Big D's scared. I think what's going through Big D's mind right now is this is live TV and what is really about to happen right now. I think that's what was going through Big D's mind, right? I don't think Big D was pumped. I just think he didn't know what KYLAND's response was going to be particularly. And because they're on live TV, he's like, oh, hold on now. You know, so I'm thinking he's taken aback by this conversation prolonging. But oh yes, KYLAND said, no, I'm not going to find out later. You're going to tell me now. And so, you know, Big D is like, well, KYLAND, you know, I feel like you're a bigger comp beast and I would have a better opportunity as to winning the game if I took you out versus, you know, Azza being in the game. No shade, but it is what it is. It's fact. KYLAND's like, oh yeah, I'm not caring about you right now. I ain't worried about nothing you got to say to me right now. You will never get this D ever again. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking KYLAND's like. I miss me with all that. I'm trying to talk to this brother right here because the words that we exchanged together meant something to me, but you gonna tell me that was for the game? Baby. So then Xavier got dry mouth. I don't know why he ain't put no Carmex on his lips or nothing. His whole mouth is dry. He ain't had no water. He was shooketh, okay? Two reasons I think Xavier was in two spaces in this moment. We're on live TV, We're on live TV, and I'm not wanting to really get my hands dirty. I wanted this to be flawless. I wanted this to be flawlessly executed, and I thought that KYLAND would respect the blind side and just leave. But now potential confrontation is coming my way, and we're on live TV. So he was very dry mouth, lips white and everything. He was shooketh because in his mind, he's like, what am I finna have to do on live TV? Because if this man pressed me, it's gonna be a problem. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think Xavier was in punk mode. I think Xavier was in uh-oh mode, like I'm about to have to lay this man out, right? I think Ozza's oblivious to all this. I think Ozza's like, all right, well, bye, KYLAND, you're leaving. Oh, you're still here to talk? Okay, well, you're still leaving though, bye. So I'm thinking Ozza's in that space, right? When KYLAND turns to Xavier and says, well, what about the conversation about Kobe? You know, you said that you was hoping that, you know, he would have someone to look up to or whatever. And so when Xavier opens his mouth and says, oh, so you bringing my nephew into this? So here's my thing. Here's my thing. And I know a lot of y'all may disagree, okay? Because a lot of y'all were coming at KYLAND about bringing family and putting family into the mix. None of that matters. None of that matters. And for me, I feel like you need to hear what I'm saying to you. Because I'm not saying that the nephew is slow, that the nephew is missing appendages, that the nephew is ditz. I'm not saying anything specific about the nephew. So everybody like, oh, he's disrespectful and he's disgraceful and all of that. He ain't saying nothing about the child. He's speaking on what the child has to look up to because Xavier brought the child into the conversation in the beginning, okay? Let's keep it a buck. Xavier brought my heart and feels, if I'm KYLAND, my heart and feels into believing him by bringing this child into the equation of the game. If Xavier never mentioned the nephew, then KYLAND wouldn't have had nothing to say about no family, no nephew. But you brought personal vibes into this house. So I'm gonna ask you about the personal vibes your ass brought into this house. Fair is fair. What are we talking about here? Fair is fair. You telling me about your nephew is the reason why I left your bitch ass in this house to begin with. Now it's, oh, we ain't got to worry about the nephew and I ain't got to bring the nephew up. Bitch, you brought him up to me first. So that's where we at. Whether y'all agree or disagree, I don't give two F's. But that's where KYLAND at, and I'm here for KYLAND. I'm here for him. So Xavier is like, oh, so you gonna bring my nephew? Yes, bitch, I'm bringing your nephew into this because you brought your nephew into this when I saved your ass. That's the reason why I saved your ass. So is your nephew gonna have somebody to look up to? Because you used that story to get over on me, and I'm not appreciative of it. Because at the end of the day, all you had to do was come talk to me, Negro. I understand all four sides. I do, at this point. But baby, when Xavier stepped up to him 3 times, and Xavier didn't move back 3 times, it was gonna be a battle, baby. Cause KYLAND said, bitch, you could step up all you want. He said, you gonna bring my nephew into this? And he said it again. I said, well, I'm just wondering what your nephew has to look up. KYLAND ain't back down for nothing. And dry mouth Xavier ain't back down either, which was great because it was 2 grown men having to figure out what is about to happen. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. Because I said a lot. If Julie didn't lose her shit, if Julie didn't lose her nerves and say, KYLAND, I need oh shit. Julie said, KYLAND, I need you out the house. KYLAND, I need you out the house. KYLAND, I need you out the house. KYLAND, that's when KYLAND snapped. KYLAND snapped back into oh shit, I'm on TV mode. Cause he knew he was gonna get Xavier there. Let me tell you how manipulative and controlling KYLAND is. KYLAND wanted Xavier to leap so that Xavier could lose the money. That's where KYLAND was. That's exactly where KYLAND was. And he didn't give no shits. Cause he said, oh, okay, so you gonna play me like this? I'm about to get you, I'm about to get you, I'm about to get you, sucker. And he kept repeating it. He didn't stop talking about the nephew having somebody to look up to, because he wanted Xavier to pounce. And I'm telling you right now, it would have been a battle royale. Because for somebody like that, KYLAND got some size to him. So if KYLAND, I'm so amped about this episode. Xavier warned him once, KYLAND said it. Xavier warned him twice, KYLAND said it again. Xavier warned him 3 times, and KYLAND said it again, smiled, and did not move. KYLAND was not threatened in the least by Xavier. And KYLAND said, oh, we both leaving this house, because you gonna hit me, because I'm gonna talk about this nephew situation that you brought up to me, which is the reason why I saved your bitch ass. So you gonna hit me, and you gonna get out this house with me. You are. But Xavier, being the lawyer that he is, had restraint. Even though he stepped up, he had restraint. And then Julie said, KYLAND, I need you to KYLAND, get out the house. I need y'all to tell me if this has ever happened before on Big Brother. I don't recall it ever happening, but again, I only started watching Big Brother since season 17, so I know I've missed a lot. Okay, I know I've missed a lot. And I can imagine it happening again, because you don't mess with people like that. At the very end stretch, you don't mess with people. It's $750,000. You don't mess with people like that. And so, yes, it's a game and all of that. But for me, for Davon and for KYLAND, it stopped being a game when we had personal conversations about situations. And yes, Sarah Beth mentioned the death of her father and all this other stuff, but KYLAND never had an allegiance with Sarah Beth. Never did. And that's the major difference. I see a lot of people calling KYLAND a hypocrite and all that, but KYLAND and Tiffany were always on the outs. They may have established a 3 deal, but it was never cemented. It was never cemented. It was never cemented. So I know all of y'all are coming at KYLAND, he's a hypocrite, but I don't think so. I felt like if KYLAND and Xavier never had that conversation regarding said nephew that I couldn't bring up again after you take $750,000 from me, oh no, I'm talking about this story again because you brought it up to me, which is the reason why your bitch ass is here, Negro. So I'm talking about it all day long. KYLAND ain't say one thing about that child, but he talked about the man. He talked about the man. And y'all need to understand that. He talked about the man. He ain't say nothing about that child. But it was hilarious. It was hilarious. And I was like, all I could think about when KYLAND initially gave that side smirk to Big D, I said, oh, he not walking out the house. I knew it. I said it right there. I said, and even before all of this, I said, KYLAND's not walking out the house. He's not going to walk out the house. He's going to ask for an explanation. He is. And sure enough, he did. When they got to each other's face and Xavier stepped up the first time, I said, Xavier, please don't. I said, in my mind, this is me praying and hoping for these black brothers to not act a shitty fool on television. I'm like, Negroes, this is bigger than y'all. This is bigger than y'all both. Please, please do not do this. Please, I was yelling at my screen. I was here for it, but I was yelling at my screen because if they would have swung on each other, it would have been, oh, look at them now. You know, oh, we'd expect this, you know? And so I'm like, please don't. When Xavier stepped up twice, that's when Big D got in the mix. Still smiling and cackling because I think Big D was getting off at the fact that he was doing that. But when Xavier stepped the 3rd time, then Ozza was like, okay, y'all. Baby, all 4 of these people black. And all 4 of these black people know when some shit about to pop off. They know it. But TV put aside enough. If Julie had never said anything, it would have been a wrap. But KYLAND comes out the house and he is vexed. He is vexed. He is not okay. He does not want to go to jury. He does not want to deal with those people. I think he's going to be a bitter juror like Cody was. But I don't know. It all depends on how the jury responds to him. Because Sarah Beth seems really perturbed. So does Claire. Claire and Sarah Beth seem really perturbed at KYLAND. And so it depends on how his reception is going to be. But KYLAND is going to be a bitter juror. I believe KYLAND is going to be a bitter juror. I really do. I really do. I really do. And I don't think that they'll ask him to come back to the game. I don't think that they're going to ask him to come back to the game. I'd be shocked if they do. But in my mind, I'm wondering if KYLAND really ruined all of his opportunities by doing that, because KYLAND is a gorgeous man. I can see him on commercials, film, acting, all types of stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? You being on Big Brother, you could be on The Challenge. I can see KYLAND on The Challenge. I can see Xavier on The Challenge. I already know they're going to ask Big D to be on The Challenge. But there are so many other things that you could do after this. And I don't know if they're going to want him to be a part of it anymore because of his reaction. But I don't blame KYLAND one bit. I really don't. And I was here for every bit of it because it was entertaining. This was the most entertaining situation that has ever happened on Big Brother 23. And I didn't want them to fight. But I appreciated the realness. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the honesty and the realness in that reaction. Because all the, oh, I love you, and oh, it's a game. Yes, it's a game. And you don't have to put your hands on anybody, but you're not about to sun me and think I'm not about to sun you. Like, that's not what we're going to do. That's not what we're going to do at all. So honestly, I'm here for what KYLAND did. I'm here for it all day long. I'm here for how Xavier responded. I'm here for him all day long. I'm appreciative of the fact that Big D made a power move, finally, okay? And I'm here that Azah was ready to handle business. And through all of this, can we just say that Azah was a pure queen? She was gorgeous. And she wore that dress that she wanted to wear. It looks way better on her than it would have looked on Alyssa. So I'm here for Azah. This is what I want to have happen in the game, okay? Honestly, this is what I want to have happen. Xavier deserves the win. Xavier deserves the win. But you know who I want to win? This is who I want to win. Y'all probably know because y'all been watching my videos. I want Azah to win Big Brother. That's who I want to win. You know why? Because she's played the most honest game. She's played the most honest game. I want Azah to pull out something out of her bag and send Xavier home. That's what I'm hoping and praying for. That's who I want to win. If not Azah, then obviously Xavier. I don't want Big D to win a motherfucking thing at all. If Xavier wins, I want Xavier to take Azah to the end. That's what I want. That's what I want. Big D don't deserve shit. He don't deserve nothing. He is one of the most delusional people I've ever seen in my life on television. He sits right next to Josh. He sits right next to Josh from Big Brother. Oh my God. Delusional. Big D stands for big delusional. Period. Anyways, leave your comments below. Let me know what you thought about this video. Sorry it's long, but I had to. There's so much I had to talk about. Leave your comments below. Who do you think is going to win? Who do you want to win? I think Xavier is going to win, but I want Azah to win just off of merit alone. Deuces. I know. You're not about to think about not subscribing to aconnectiontv.com. Copyrighted.